Welcome to Post Game Podcast. I'm your host, June. I got my boy B Foster with me. And stop what you're doing right now. Subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. You can check out all the other player profiles that Foster has done and the other material that we have up there. It's good content. Check us out for you sports junkies, basketball, football. Check us out. There's even there'll even be some baseball stuff put up there eventually, but that's our new channel. Check us out there. Foster is going to continue with these with the off-season vibes. We know the Pistons off-season hasn't started technically, but we've been looking forward to this off-season for a very, very long time. And Foster's going to talk about this this week's 2024 NBA featured player prospect. Foster, without further ado, go ahead and do your thing. Who are you talking about today?
All right, we're talking about Reed Sheppard out of Kentucky, who was a highly efficient shooter with the ability to pass as well. He went to Kentucky. He scored 12 points per game, 2.5 steals, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. He shot 53% from the field and 52% from three-point range. He is 6'3", 187 pounds. He's 19 years old, and he projects at the next level to be a combo guard. His comps are Kirk Hinrich and Dante DiVincenzo. He has the potential to go in the top 5, but he could possibly fall into the later lottery. At minimum, he has the potential to be a good spot-up shooter and willing passer. But at best, he could be the lead guard because he possesses enough burst and shift to blow by and separate, and he has a very high basketball IQ. He's not the most explosive guard, but he can surprise defenders with a quick first step and an elevation to pull up. He has fast hands and high instincts on the defensive end. He blocked 20 shots as a freshman, and he has a very high steal rate. 2.5 steals is a nice amount of steals per game. He's the draft's most efficient shooter, and he has a quick release, which is going to make him very lethal as a spot-up shooter at the next level. But he's also nearly as effective off the dribble. As far as his weakness, he has a lack of explosiveness, which we talked about. And he has the ability to get by his defender in a straight line, but he does lack the creativity with his handle and footwork to evade defenders in a much more, non-conventional way besides, just kind of blowing by with a quick first step. He's a good stationary shooter, but there was not a lot of footage for scouts to look at as far as being a movement shooter. So, there's not much film out there as far as moving off of screens and creating his own shot that way. So if he goes to a team that has a high volume, a ball dominant guard, he may be limited in that regard because he does not have much of an ability to score in movement. Outside of that, he is undersized at 6'3", 187 pounds. So if he's guarding your top-notch shooting guards, a lot of those guys are, can be very tall. They can be, 6'5", 200 bills. So he's going to be best suited in a situation where he's playing alongside a big guard that can command the bigger guard on the floor, a la Cade Cunningham, maybe. So as far as his fit with Detroit, He's a good stationary shooter, which is what Cade Cunningham needs around him. He is a good he's a willing defender. He has good instincts and a good steal rate. The Pistons have been giving up a lot of points in the perimeter and on the inside as well. So anybody that's willing to play defense is very can be very beneficial to us. But outside of that, the fact that he's able to play off ball and takes care of the ball, he's somebody that can be beneficial to us. Obviously, we have a pretty packed backcourt with Sasser and Ivy and Cade. So unless we plan on moving some of those guards around, he would be somewhat redundant, but he would be the best outside shooter amongst all of them based upon his college, on what he's shown in college. Reed Sheppard out of Kentucky.
How tall is he again, Foss?
6'3".
6'3". Okay. As far as the Pistons needs, let's say they go with someone like a Sheppard. Would he be your point guard there, or
so
he would he be your starting point guard? Point guard is what I'm asking.
Yeah, he would have. He would definitely be the point guard. It's tricky because so you got Ivy.
Okay.
If he's starting, I feel like you don't start him and Ivy together. It's tricky. It's because ideally, if we drafted a Sheppard, I feel like Ivy's gone.
Yes.
Just because you just got too many guards.
Many guards.
Yeah. And you don't put your lottery, your top 5 guard, you don't put him on the bench. So I feel like with him, especially with him and Ivy being the same height, obviously not the same complete attributes, but with them being the same height, I feel like you can't have 2 6'3" guards playing next to each other alongside Cade. And as far as you say point guard, I feel like Cade still is the ball dominant one, and he's playing off of Cade in that regard. But I feel like you don't play Ivy and Sheppard together in the starting lineup.
I got you. Once again, check us out at Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube, and for your audio feed, check us out on all podcast streaming platforms. Just type in Post Game Podcast, FFSN. Follow us, download the episodes. Thanks once again, Foster. I'm going to do my own research and check this guy out some because I need to know more.